Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Steve Belize coming at you live from the heart of West Baltimore. Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep to observe what's going on around us through the lens of faith. Let's get right into this. I know everybody keep hearing about the illegal immigrant crisis. Well, I believe our government is purposely doing this to bring about the new world order, a one world government. Let me explain before you judge. Here's what I'm thinking. Recent years, America's freedoms have been eroded away. Our values have been thrown to the wind. Now, there are people who don't believe in the things that have been happening, but they're scared to speak up because of fear of being canceled or shunned or maybe even thrown in jail or sued. A freedom of religion has gone out of the window. Freedom of speech is no longer protected. You have the right to bear arms, and Congress can make no law against this. That's been thrown out of the window. A lot of people who come across the border have been military for places as far as China. They have caught terrorists. There's a lot who they haven't caught. The American people are fed up with the direction the country has been headed in. It seems when American citizens were homeless, no one cared. When they were hungry, no one cared. When they needed health care, no one cared. Everything that they've needed has not been provided. But now, the immigrants, illegal immigrants, the legal invaders, they're being given places to stay, food, money, free health care, everything that the legal citizens of this country have needed and wanted. But they told us they didn't have the resources to give. They are now all of a sudden giving them to the illegal immigrants. That's another point that's going to make the American people rise up. They're hoping for a civil war. There are no good guys and bad guys in this thing. They're all bad guys. I'm talking about from whichever side you're on. Maybe you yourself really are taking a stand. The higher ups who are orchestrating this want this to happen. They want us to have a civil war where we become weak and distracted. And in the midst of that civil war, America is going to be annexed by another country. And then the cavalry is going to come. The cavalry being the United Nations. They're going to swoop in, and in the midst of everything going on, they're going to take control over the country as if they were heroes. After America has been taken over by the United Nations, they will take over all the other governments of the world, which they already have, but they're going to be out in the open with it. And while they're out in the open with it, they're going to bring forth this Antichrist. I know that may sound far-fetched, but just think about the things that they're allowing to happen. In New York City, illegal immigrants from a gang beat a police officer. There were two of them. They attacked them savagely and brutally. And they were allowed to bond out. Now, where did they get this bond money? Because attacking officers, the bond is usually outrageous. Maybe they weren't even illegal immigrants. Maybe they were plants and saboteurs to get the people riled up and get the disdain of the people for the government so the people can rise up and choose a side, and we will have this civil war. And while we're weak, and it's not going to be just, people just acting out. No, this is going to be a real war. And all of those people who come across the border, they're going to be participating. They're going to take a side also. Of course, their side. And the ones who are plants, they're going to be coordinating attacks that will seem random. And those random attacks are going to destroy our infrastructure. It's going to destroy our ability to react. And that's when we will be annexed by an unknown country. By unknown, I just mean that I don't know which one. Or maybe two or three of them together, and they're going to take America and the United Nations is going to step up. And when the United Nations step up and take America in the name of so-called peace, the one world government will begin. Make no mistake about it. And then we're going to see the Antichrist. We're going to see this mark of the beast rolled out, because if you think about it, said no man will be able to buy or trade without it. Money is becoming a thing of the past. I mean, cash was king. Cash is king. But now, instead of cash being king, it's things like PayPal. Then you had Cash App, which was free. Now, if you send a certain amount of money, they take their cut out of it, even though they're holding the wealth of all their users in an account. And when you have that type of money, the revenue that comes from interest alone is monstrous. And most people don't take that money out. They just leave money in Cash App. So they're making money, but they're getting us used to digital currency. So the mark of the beast will roll out, and no man will be able to buy, sell, or trade without it. And you probably think that you won't take it. You're going to stand up and be strong. But if you have a family and they're hungry, you have no idea what you will do. A mother who needs milk for her child, you have no idea what you would do to feed that child. Because people don't do things naturally by nature. She's not going to use the milk that's in her body. They use formula. They've pushed it on us for a long time. The alphabet community, that was pushed on our children, and they're being brainwashed right now. If you're not in agreement with them, then you are a bully. And they started that with having, saying that bullies were horrible, and they campaigned about people committing self-deletion and stuff like that, and these outrageous bullies. And a lot of these people who self-deleted were targets, not of just bullies, but a campaign sort of like the targeted individuals, gang stalking. A lot of them were going through programs like MK Ultra, and people don't realize that. So that's why a lot of them self-deleted, because we had bullying in my day and all the days before, but this was something different. This right here was a psychological attack on the citizens of America, and mostly the youth. So bullying became something horrible. And through that, the bullying being horrible, the next thing you know, they started saying, if you say anything against the alphabet community, anything wrong, anything like you don't agree with, you can't have your own opinion, then you are a bully. And that's how your kids look at it and feel about it. And that's the roll away the morals of America. You don't have to believe me, but all you have to do is look around and see what's happening right now with your children. What are they watching? What are they listening to? Sexual immorality has run rampant amongst all Americans. When you go outside, you see people half naked. People in our society have lost their way. We don't discipline our children. We don't take the time to see what's going on in our children's lives. We're not training our children in the way that they should go. We're just raising them. When you train your children, they can fall back on their training, just like a soldier would. When you teach a child the ways of God, no matter what they do and how far they go into the world, sooner or later, they will come back to the fold. It makes no sense what's been going on. We've been tricked, hoodwinked, bamboozled, whatever you want to call it. The world has been poured over our eyes. And this new thing with this invasion, this is going to be the start, the kickoff of a civil war. And In that civil war, we will be annexed by another country, mark my words. And the United Nations will swoop in like the cavalry, bringing a new world order, a one world government, ushering in the Antichrist and ushering in the mark of the beast. It's time for people to wake up. They say my people suffer for lack of knowledge. Study to show thyself approved. It's time to study. Just recently, the federal government asked the banks to flag anyone making Bible purchases or any religious text or anyone who purchased anything like, what is it called, the MAGA, Make America Great Again things, or anything like that, any firearm purchases. Because the thing is, if the majority of the world is against, or we will have been poisoned against Donald Trump, and I'm not a Trump supporter or against him. I just believe all politicians and all of it is one big hoax, and the world is a grand stage, and we're watching a performance. And my thing is, if people are willing to support them, the government see those people as different from the other people, because they're not just going with what the media say. So that means they have some sort of their own thoughts and their own thinking process. They're not just going by what we're being told. So that makes them dangerous. Anyone who reads scriptures is extremely dangerous to the government, because that is the facts, the truth. And I'm talking about that King James Bible, not the new Bibles that have all these different things to make the people feel comfortable. Anyone who purchases firearms or any militias, those are the people who the government fear also, because these people have a mind of their own and they could be willing to fight back. The reason why the government is flagging all these things, because they want to know who has what and where to find them. When you see two sides opposing each other in the media, those sides are together. They're not apart, they're together. They're doing the same thing, but they just want to see which side people choose so they can know who to round up or who have been rocked to sleep by the propaganda. So man, you must wake up and see what's going on. Do not fall for the trickery. Do not fall for a call to arms and to violence, because while we're busy fighting each other, this country will get annexed. If you are a patriot, you must avoid civil war at all costs, because this will be our downfall, and not only our downfall, but the downfall of the rest of the world. If you're not a patriot, but you care about the people, planet Earth, do not answer a call to arms to a civil war. No matter which side you fight on, you are helping to bring forth the Antichrist a bit earlier on the world stage than it could be, because he must come, because the Lord said so, so he will. But I say, resist a call to arms at all costs. There should be no civil war, brothers fighting brothers in this country. This cannot happen. Study your Bible to show thyself approved. Come from out of the world, or you will be swallowed by it. I love y'all. Get your Christ on so you can get your life on.